45 big game from deep. What was 5 of 20 on Saturday from the field was 6 of 21 tonight. They trailed by 2 at the half, 62-60. We talked about it at the half. Felt fun, felt competitive. D-Fish, you just walked in here and said, were you expecting that? No, I don't think any of us were, to see that in the third. I'll start with you, big game, and we'll start with the offense or lack thereof over the last couple. How do you explain it, assess it right now?
It's difficult. Knowing what they are capable of and seeing it repetitively in the last couple games, it's hard to understand. It has to be something that they're just not mentally connected on, because I know they're getting the right message at halftime from the coaching staff on what to do and what not to do, and don't let this repeat itself. So I hope that they're not dependent on their offense to establish things, because if they are, that's not a good start. The defense is definitely where they need to start to turn things around, and, giving up extra possessions, offensive rebounds, things of that nature, and giving up the 3 ball, a lot of them uncontested. Meanwhile, being stagnant on your offensive end and not having the same synergy and flow that you've had in previous games is a loser. And it's, you get no morale, you get no excitement on either end because you're not connecting. Meanwhile, Phoenix is just, doing what they do best with Booker, Durant, and Nurkic got going, and they start looking for mismatches. So I just think it's, it's something up here is not connecting, and that's physically. You got to go out and play the game.
And that kind of points to what you said in the pregame. When you look at a drop-off like that, like we saw, they were up +6 on Denver Saturday going into the third quarter. Tonight, you're down 2, but it's a great game, and you talked about the mental side in the pregame.
Yeah, and you're not always aware of it in the moment, but there's something that isn't quite like, as they come out of the locker room, they're on the bench, they're out on the court warming up, there isn't whatever that collective feel is to start the game, there's just a bit of a gap there. And it doesn't mean there's a strategy that's wrong or that somebody needs to try and do something different by themselves, but just collectively as a group deciding, okay, to start this third quarter, what are we going to hang our hats on tonight, right? You know what, this first 3 minutes, and I'm sure the coaches are saying this, the first 3 or 4 minutes of this third quarter, let's try to get 2 kills, right? That's 3 stops in a row. Let's try to, keep them from scoring more than 6 points in transition. Whatever it is, that'll give them a collective common goal, as opposed to just starting the third quarter and it's just 5 guys out there, as opposed to no, we're going to be a formidable opponent together. So it happens during the course of a long season. They can get it back, but it needs to happen sooner rather than later, just so that you don't get that snowball effect of not just poor performance and results of losses, but then all of the noise and the external things and the narrative starts to get heavier, and then it makes it harder for guys to just enjoy playing the game the right way. And what JJ talked about before the game is getting back to the process and not being so tied to results. Well, that's hard to do when it's really loud with negativity, and that just automatically comes with losing at this level.
D-Fish, that might be the first narrative of the season. Excuse me, I think you hit on it. Last year we had a couple narratives. AD in the fourth quarter, not so hot at points. He kind of got forgotten. This is the first negative narrative of the season, that 1-4 road trip notwithstanding. The third quarter, the last 2, this team has shot 27%. That's not from three-point range. That's overall in the third quarter. Three-point range was about 21%. And, when you go up against a team like the Suns, they're happy, they're hungry. They're now 9-1 when KD's in the lineup. They just welcomed him back after a few weeks on the sidelines with a calf injury. They were 1-6 without him. I think, maybe we should look at him as being a very important player in this league. He's got a future for sure. Bottom line, you got to fix his third quarter. You do not want that to be a negative narrative at all, and right now it is for sure. And by the way, one last thing. If you're saying, okay, these last 2 third quarters, not so good, James, is that because Dalton Knecht is no longer starting? If you go back 3 games, they were pretty bad in that third quarter against Orlando, only 21 points in that quarter and shot poorly as well. So I don't know what the answer is. It's puzzling. Could be a little bit of mental, could be a little physical. And J.J. Redick did put the team through a pretty tough practice yesterday. He said, look, we did not show up to play in that third quarter against Denver a couple games ago. We're going to have a hard practice. Obviously, that didn't work out too well either today, Ali.